Hello, thank you for joining me. I've been thinking today about jobs, work, careers, and wondering how many people continue in the same career, the one for which they qualified, and have continued to practice, work in, whatever. I think a lot of us these days are much more mobile. In the days of yore, people often followed on, especially if it was a trade or a business. If your father was a blacksmith, chances are son would go on to take over the business. And I have to say that happens in my family, but not the blacksmithing bit. My husband was a pilot, my son is a pilot, and my granddaughter, that is all she wants to do. So yeah, we've got a tradition carrying on there. As for me, well, I always wanted to teach, but I had quite a delay in starting because I needed to do my year's postgraduate qualification. And as we moved around with the Air Force so much, that just didn't happen for many years. So I did lots and lots of little jobs. In fact, I went along to the job centre, I can't remember what it used to be called in those days, to find out just what maybe I could have a go at. Filled in all these forms, punched lots of holes, and it came out that I should maybe be a florist. Hence me sitting next to these rather gorgeous carnations to talk. I never did become a florist, but I have done a lot of flower arranging, including in various officers' messes over the years, for balls, for special occasions, including royal visits. So maybe that's where the floristry bit came in. But then I went on to teach, eventually doing my PGCE. But when I was getting towards the end of that, I knew that I couldn't just retire and sit and do not a lot. So for the last 2 or 3 years, even though I was working a 6.5-hour week, 6.5-day week. Sorry, I should be lucky 6.5-hour week. Oh, that would be good. I trained to be a counsellor, doing a certificate and a diploma, and the same with hypnotherapy and hypnobirthing too. How I got through that time, I'm not quite sure, but I was determined, so I did. But I saw on the news that Brickies are earning about £1,000 a week, and that's just for a jobbing brickie, not a highly qualified person. Mustn't say guy. And I thought maybe I should have done that, because I have had a go at brickieing. Yeah, I made a brick barbecue at the bottom of my garden. The trouble was that I was hopeless, that's putting it mildly, at spreading the mortar with a trowel. I actually used my fingers. And no, I didn't have gloves on. I couldn't work with gloves on. So I was spreading mortar, smoothing it out, and just glad that nobody was seeing what I was doing. The problem was, well, the second problem was that I could not cut bricks. I tried, and I would bash and bash and bash and end up with a still whole brick or a pile of brick dust. But just across the road, they were building some new houses. So I thought, right, I put the number of bricks that I knew I needed halving into my barrow and pushed it round and said, look, would somebody mind in their lunch break, for the price of a pint, please chopping these bricks for me? I know it will only take you 5 minutes. And unfortunately, the foreman heard me and gave me a flea in my ear and told me to go away. Fortunately, one of the Brickies heard, and in his lunch break he came round. He said, "Come here, where's your bricks?" And he did it in literally 5 minutes. So I gave him the money for a pint as promised. So maybe being a Brickie should not be my next port of call if I decide to have another change of direction of occupation. No, I'm not sure what would be. Maybe the floristry, but maybe I'll just continue with my counselling, my hypnotherapy, my hypnobirthing, and be content with my lot. Sometimes that's what we have to do. Being content counts for a lot in this life of ours. So on that note, I shall say farewell. Thank you for joining me, and I will speak to you again soon. I'm actually being collected for an evening out. A friend is having a bingo evening for her preschool group, a fundraising event. And do you know, I've never ever played bingo. So it will be my first time. Wish me luck. The main thing is that I am going to be there to support my friend, to support the cause for which she works, and hopefully to have a fun evening. Take care. Speak to you soon. Bye.